The human mind is a vast domain, filled with hidden chambers of thought, emotion, memory, and potential. It is often said that we are only using a small portion of our true capabilities, and at no time is this truth more evident than when we examine the silent power of the subconscious mind. While we are awake, we believe we are in full control, but it is during rest, during sleep, when the deeper mechanisms of our mind awaken. It is here, in this state free from resistance, that true transformation begins. To understand how listening while sleeping affects our lives, we must journey into the realm of the subconscious, a place where belief is born and destiny is shaped. The subconscious mind is not a passive observer. It does not wait silently in the background. Instead, it absorbs every impression, every phrase, every emotional signal we encounter. It listens even when we are unaware. When we close our eyes and drift into the darkness of sleep, we assume that everything shuts down, that the mind rests. Yet, science and experience reveal something remarkable: the subconscious mind never sleeps. It continues to function, to learn, to process, to store. It listens to sounds, responds to affirmations, and records information with full attention, without judgment or question. This is the core reason why listening during sleep can have such a profound impact. The conscious filter is gone, and the subconscious receives direct access to any message we choose to send. During the waking hours, we live with constant noise, the noise of doubt, fear, logic, social conditioning, and external expectations. If we attempt to reaffirm positive beliefs during the day, the conscious mind may resist. It questions: is this true? Can I really change? Am I worthy? But at night, when consciousness slips into silence, the gatekeeper relaxes. The subconscious, open and receptive, begins to accept. Words spoken in that gentle, sleepy space bypass doubt and go straight into the foundation of belief. This is not only powerful, but perhaps the most effortless form of self-transformation available to us. Consider how many times a negative statement has entered your mind: I am not good enough, I will never succeed, I am afraid. These statements, whether repeated by others or whispered within, were accepted by your subconscious long ago. And because they were accepted, they became truths you lived by. Now imagine replacing those internal scripts with empowering truths: I am capable, I am confident, I am deserving of success, I attract opportunities. When such affirmations are absorbed during sleep, they begin to rewrite old programming. This is not merely a motivational idea, it is a process of inner re-education, teaching your subconscious a new language of self-belief. Sleep is a deeply natural state. It cannot be forced, it cannot be faked. The body knows when to rest, and the mind knows when to dream. Within those dreams, the subconscious expresses itself through symbols and stories. It rearranges thoughts, solves problems, reconciles emotions, and prepares us for the next day. But what if we feed it guidance during this mysterious journey? What if, instead of falling into random dreams, we invite our subconscious to feed on words of healing, courage, and purpose? Each affirmation becomes a compass, directing our dreams, aligning our interpretation of reality, influencing how we think, act, and react upon awakening. There is a reason why ancient philosophers spoke of the night as a sacred time. There is wisdom encoded into our rest. When we listen to positive words while sleeping, we are not merely passing time, we are participating in a sacred dialogue with our inner self. The subconscious mind, childlike and powerful, listens without question. It does not argue. It does not reject. It simply takes in what it hears and begins to build. We must therefore choose our words with deliberate care. Imagine this scenario: someone has spent years battling self-doubt. No matter how many achievements they earn, something deep inside whispers, "You are not enough." Their conscious mind tries to fight that voice, but the battle is exhausting. However, as they sleep, they begin listening to affirmations designed to nurture self-worth. You are worthy of love and success. You are confident in who you are. You move forward with strength. Night after night, the subconscious hears these truths. At first, it simply absorbs them. Then, it begins to integrate them. Then, eventually, it starts to believe them. Once belief takes root, behavior follows, confidence grows, decisions become braver, and life begins to reflect the inner transformation. The subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant within it, fear or faith, doubt or determination, will grow. But you cannot plant seeds in soil that is disturbed and unsettled. During the day, the soil of the mind is often restless. But at night, it is still. This is why sleep is the perfect time to sow seeds of change. Words spoken in that silence sink deep. They bypass the critics in your mind. They do not need justification. They are accepted simply because they are heard repeatedly. Think of how children learn. A child may fall asleep while a lullaby plays or while a language is spoken nearby, and without conscious effort, they retain it. They do not study, they absorb. Their subconscious gathers the patterns, the rhythms, the meanings. As adults, we retain this ability, but we forget to use it. We underestimate how effortlessly our subconscious can adopt new truths if only we would supply them. That is why listening at night is so potent. It allows us to return to the most natural form of learning: passive, gentle, continuous absorption. We often believe we must struggle to change. We think transformation must be a loud, dramatic upheaval. Yet the subconscious teaches the opposite. Real change begins quietly. It is subtle, like the slow drift of a river reshaping stone. The mind is malleable. It can be guided, redirected, reprogrammed with patience. Listening while sleeping does not demand confrontation. It does not require that you fight your old beliefs. It invites you to introduce new ones softly, gradually, with repetition. Eventually, the mind will choose the stronger, more nourishing narrative. But why is the subconscious so powerful in determining our reality? Because it influences our emotions, our reactions, our choices, our perception. Have you ever wondered why two people can face the same situation, yet one responds with hope and the other with despair? It is not the situation, it is the subconscious story each one believes. If your subconscious holds on to fear, you will interpret life as threatening. If it holds faith, you will interpret life as promising. By listening to affirmations during sleep, you guide your subconscious toward faith, resilience, gratitude, self-confidence. Slowly, your inner story changes. And when the inner story changes, your outer life follows. There is another quality of the subconscious that makes sleep listening so effective: it thrives on ritual. The mind loves patterns. When you repeatedly listen to positive recordings as you fall asleep, your subconscious begins to associate nighttime with transformation. Just as your body prepares for rest, your mind prepares for renewal. Over time, even before you fall asleep, your body feels calmer, your thoughts feel clearer, because you have indirectly trained your mind to expect healing during rest. This is where listening at night becomes not just a habit, but a sacred practice. Some may wonder, can words truly change reality? Can simple affirmations heard during sleep alter one's destiny? The answer lies in understanding that reality is first constructed in the mind. Before we act, we decide. Before we decide, we believe. Every achievement begins as a thought, a belief quietly held. If those beliefs are altered, outcomes must shift. Listening while sleeping, therefore, is not superficial, it is foundational. It targets the deepest layer of life creation, the belief system. Consider a person afraid of speaking in public. During the day, they try to convince themselves, "I can do this," but fear overwhelms them. At night, however, they play affirmations: "Your voice is strong. You speak with clarity. You are calm and confident." They are not fighting fear anymore, they are feeding courage. In the quiet of sleep, resistance fades. The subconscious absorbs. Over time, without forcing confidence, they begin to feel it naturally. They begin to stand straighter, speak smoother, breathe deeper. Without conscious effort, their reality shifts. This is the essence of effortless change. It is not lack of work, it is alignment with how the mind naturally operates. Swimming against current exhausts us. Swimming with current carries us. When we use sleep to introduce new beliefs, we work with the rhythm of the mind, not against it. And this is why results achieved through subconscious programming are often lasting. They are built on belief, not force. It is important to understand, however, that the subconscious does not discriminate between truth or falsehood. It only accepts what is repeated with emotion or consistency. This means we must guard what we allow into our ears at night. If we sleep with the television on, filled with negativity, drama, fear, we unknowingly program ourselves with anxiety. But if we choose recordings filled with empowerment, encouragement, abundance, we awaken differently, lighter, stronger, more at peace. The choice is ours every night. We must also recognize that the subconscious communicates in images and emotions. Affirmations work not simply because of words, but because of the emotional tone carried by those words. A calm voice repeating peaceful phrases can ease the nervous system, lower stress, reduce inner turbulence. Over time, this emotional conditioning leads to physical changes, relaxation, improved confidence, reduced anxiety. The subconscious influences the body. This is why athletes visualize success, why professionals rehearse outcomes. It all begins with subconscious acceptance. Listening while sleeping is an invitation to build a relationship with the most powerful partner we have, our inner mind. It is an act of trust. It says, while I sleep, I give you the materials to build my tomorrow. And the subconscious, loyal and constant, does exactly that. It reorganizes thoughts, strengthens beliefs, shapes intuition, prepares confidence. You may not see it immediately, but you feel it: subtle calmness, increased focus, stronger optimism. It becomes part of who you are. Transformation through the subconscious is not dramatic. It is not loud. It often goes unnoticed until one day, you look at your life and realize you have changed. You think differently. You speak differently. You act differently. You respond with wisdom instead of panic. You choose courage instead of retreat. This is not coincidence, it is the result of nightly nourishment. You may not remember every word you hear while sleeping, and you do not need to. The subconscious does not rely on memory. It relies on energy. It absorbs tone. It absorbs intention. It records rhythm. Even if the conscious mind forgets, the subconscious remembers. This is why consistency is more important than immediate understanding. You do not need to analyze the affirmations, you need only to receive them. The journey of subconscious transformation is deeply personal. It does not require validation from the outside world. While others seek change through struggle, you quietly evolve through surrender. While others fight to become, you allow yourself to be. What begins as a simple practice of listening becomes a profound journey of inner awakening. Through this process, you come to realize that you were never broken, you were simply programmed. And programming can be rewritten. You were never powerless, your power was hidden beneath layers of doubt. And doubt can be replaced. You were never unworthy, you were simply unaware. And awareness can be awakened. Listening while sleeping reminds us of a divine truth: growth need not always be difficult. Healing need not always be painful. Some transformations bloom in silence. Some revolutions begin in rest. So as you lay your head each night, remember you are stepping into one of the most powerful classrooms of life. Not one filled with books or lectures, but filled with silence, dreams, and possibility. You are giving your mind the tools to build your destiny. The sun may set outside, but within, a new dawn begins. You are not just sleeping. You are reprogramming. You are not just resting. You are rising. Through the whispers of the night, your subconscious listens and your reality prepares to change. Night after night, as we drift into sleep, our minds enter a state of openness unlike any waking moment. It is during these hours that repetition becomes a silent architect, constructing new pathways of thought, new patterns of belief, and new layers of inner strength. Effortless transformation begins the moment we consistently feed our subconscious with messages of hope, success, and inner power. The second keynote, nightly repetition creates effortless transformation, is rooted in one undeniable truth: what we repeatedly hear, we eventually believe, and what we believe, we begin to live. Transformation is often seen as a struggle, something that demands force, discipline, and constant exertion. But repetition, especially during sleep, does not ask for strength. It asks for consistency. Just as water shapes rock over time, repeated affirmations shape identity gently but permanently. When you listen to empowering words every night, your mind begins to align with the frequency of those words. You may not notice it immediately, but deep within, shifts begin, old doubts loosen, inner resistance fades, and new convictions quietly take root. The most remarkable part of this process is how natural it feels. There is no internal fight, no conscious debate. Unlike forcing positive thinking during the day, which can be exhausting, nighttime repetition bypasses the mental barriers entirely. You simply lie down, close your eyes, and allow. You do not push change, you permit it. And through this permission, a stronger, wiser version of yourself is born. Over time, your subconscious begins to echo the words it has absorbed. You wake up feeling clearer, calmer, more capable. You find yourself setting goals with newfound courage, speaking with more confidence, reacting with more patience. You don't remember when it changed, you only realize one day that it did. This is the beauty of effortless transformation, it doesn't announce itself. It unfolds quietly. This process is much like planting seeds. One night may seem insignificant, but many nights create a garden. A single affirmation may feel small, but repeated affirmations become belief. And belief is powerful enough to reshape destiny. What you repeatedly feed your mind at night will slowly become the reality you live by day. In the end, nightly repetition is not a ritual of sound, it is a ritual of faith. Faith that the mind is capable of renewal. Faith that change can be soft, not harsh. Faith that destiny can be rewritten in whispers, not war. Every night you listen, you are choosing growth. You are telling your future, I am ready. And your future listens. As you prepare to rest tonight, remember that sleep is not an escape, it is an entrance. An entrance into the quiet space where your future is written. You do not need to force change. You do not need to fight old battles. All you need is willingness to allow new beliefs to take shape, to allow new truths to settle in, to allow transformation to happen gently, silently, and naturally. Each night becomes an opportunity. An opportunity to whisper power into your mind, to guide your dreams toward strength, to invite peace where chaos once lived. With every repetition, you are not just listening to words, you are teaching your soul to rise. You are inviting abundance, confidence, healing, and clarity to become part of your identity. Do not underestimate what happens in the unseen. Though your eyes are closed, though your body is resting, your mind is building. It is reorganizing your reality. It is aligning your thoughts with destiny. It is preparing you to wake not as the person who went to sleep, but as someone slightly stronger, slightly braver, slightly more alive. So tonight, do not just fall asleep. Surrender to growth. Let the affirmations be your compass. Let the silence be your teacher. Trust the process, for the change you seek is already in motion. With every breath, with every whisper, with every repetition, you are becoming. And when you awaken, awaken with the knowing that while the world slept,